Good morning for Saturday morning vinyasa. So we're going to come into a nice open-legged child's pose. Push your hips back to your heels and just let me know, of course, if you can't see me either. And if you have something, you can put your arms up on blocks or put your hands under your head as a pillow or by your side or in between your thighs. All is good. Breathe in and breathe out. Relax your shoulders. Push your hips back to your heels and just start to disconnect from all the thoughts and sounds surrounding you so that we can just connect to our breath. So start to breathe in and out of the nose if that's comfortable for you. Let your belly soften. Push your hips back to your heels. Emptying out. And every time you let go of the breath, think about releasing any stress, any tension, anything. Chest down towards your thighs. Right. And push your hips back. Maybe early on set your intention for this practice. I think Amanda already set hers with the spa music and lavender, perfect. And on the next inhaling breath, rise up to your fingertips and walk over to the right side. Place your left hand right on top of the right arm. Oops, and push your hips back to your heels. Relax your shoulders down. Breathe into the space all the way underneath your arms, all the way out to your hips. Try to practice going inside of your thoughts. All the surrounding noises outside, they're going to be there. We just have to learn how to navigate it. On the next inhale, rise up and walk over to the other side. Right hand on top of left. Place it right on top of the palm. Push your hips to your heels. Breathe from the underspace of the arms to the fingertips. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. And on the next inhaling breath, rise up to the center. Walk your hands out in front of you. Place your forearms on the floor. Let your chest rest towards your thighs. And then lift yourself up so you're on your forearms and your knees underneath your hips. And then tuck your toes and arch your back. And as you do that, press the arms straight. As you exhale, come down. Our spine is staying in the long position. Forearms come down. And then press the arms straight. Now round your back. Tuck the tailbone underneath you. Inhale, dip your belly, arch your back, chest pulse toward the floor. Exhale, arms out, chin to chest, round and curl your spine. And release it one more time. Exhale, round and curl, head down, chin to chest, stay here. Your arms are a little bit more outstretched. And then dip your belly, arch your back, stay right here, walk the left hand underneath the shoulder. Take the right arm out in front of you, thumb up to the sky. And make circles going backwards with your hips and your arms. And just circle as big or as small as you need to. And start to feel what's going on in that shoulder joint, in the hip joint, in the knee joint. And then maybe reverse that. Take a big stretch back and around. All the way up, back down and around. And then on the next time, let's just bring the arm back up over your shoulder, gaze up at it. And then take that arm underneath your left arm, placing the back of your head towards the floor, left arm forward. Keep your hips up in the air. Stay here or take any other variations. So you can take a bind with your left arm. You can take a bind with your leg behind you. Any variations. I'm going to stay right where I am because it just feels too good for me. And I'm reaching my right arm to the left side and I'm pulling myself open with one more breath. As I empty that breath, left arm is going to come back in front of me, all the way outstretched. Right arm's going to meet it. We'll be in a puppy dog pose with your chin and chest towards the floor. Hips stay up in the air. Good. Now shift your weight forward so that you're back on the forearms. This time, take your toes back and hold your plank on your forearms. And just kind of glide forward, toes pulling forward and back. And then bring yourself a little bit forward of your elbows. Drop your hips to the floor. Widen your legs as wide as your mat. Turn your toes and let them softly hang. And then pull your chest through. If it feels okay, you can let your chin drop towards your chest. And you're resting on the space right below your hip bones and right above your pubic bone. But don't clench in your glutes. Breathe. Take another big, big breath. And then push seat to heels, child's pose. Arms reach out in front of you, reach all the way out. On the inhaling breath, rise up, rounded spine, cat pose, knees under hips, hands under shoulders, tailbone tucks underneath you. And then come to neutral position. Right arm stays on the floor, left arm reaches out in front of you, thumb up. And take some circles, arms and legs backwards. So just kind of get into the feeling of the joints, what's going on in there. And then reverse it. All the way back and around. Big press. And then let's hold this last one up, open it up and look at it. Take that left arm underneath the right arm, back of the head or that left ear towards the floor, and reach your right arm forward, left arm out to the side. Keep your hips up nice and high. Feel free to take a bind with your arms, a bind with your legs. Balancing or nothing at all is perfect. Take a couple of breaths here. Just start to explore what's going on in the body this morning. Every day is different. Every time you're on the mat is different. Come back to the center, release your arms. Right arm comes all the way forward. Left arm comes all the way forward, puppy dog pose, chin and chest to the ground. If that's too much, you put your forehead down. And then once again, let's fold forward, coming onto your plank, tuck the toes, and start to glide a little bit forward of your toes, of your shoulders, and then come a little bit forward of your elbows, drop the hips down, once again in Sphinx pose with a wider leg, and just shift a little side to side, and just settle in here. See if this feels good, if you want your chin to drop to your chest. If you want to extend your arms and have a little bit more extension in your spine, if that's too extreme, don't go there. Take a big breath. As you empty the breath, come back down to the floor. Bring your forehead onto your hands. Good. And then lift your right leg up. Just lift it up off the floor. Take it over to your left side and reach across as you push your right hip to the right. Just breathe, opening up that hip a little bit more. Maybe you want to place it behind you. Maybe you want to keep it long. One more breath. Inhale back to your center. Adjust yourself so you're in a neutral position. Lift your left leg off the floor. I'm lifting my head just so you can hear me and see me, but keep your head down. And then take the left leg over to the right side. Maybe the toes tuck on the floor. Maybe you bend your knees. See where it feels right for you today. Every day is different. Every time we step on that mat. And then return back to center. Bring your forehead back to the floor. Bring your feet closer together. And then bring your hands down towards your chest, elbows hugging. Low cobra. Lift your feet up, Shalambhasana, locust pose. Squeeze your elbows towards each other. Heart lifts, legs lift. One more breath. Seat to heels. Sit back in child's pose and tuck the toes. Go ahead. It's like Alfred Hitchcock coming through. And come on in, hands and knees. You know, virtual is virtual. We've got life going on around us. Let's take some dancing lions quickly just to kind of finish that exploration of the shoulders and hips. Reverse it when you're ready. And then come back to that neutral. Let's lift into our first downward facing dog, but make it a soft knee bend. So let your legs be soft, let your head hang down. Shift your weight from front to back. Come. Life goes on around us in the yoga world, believe it or not. Right heel presses, left knee bends. Let your head hang down. And then shift your weight, left heel presses, right knee bends. And then bend both knees in turbo dog, chest to thighs, hips in the air. Tuck the ribs under, ribs towards hips. Keep your head in one long line. And then walk your hands back to your feet, back of the mat. Standing in a standing forward bend. You're okay walking in front of that camera. And hang your head, sway a little side to side. And just, again, start to explore. You know, this is like we're on a trip. We're on a little trip of exploration. Come back to the center. Place your hands on top of your shins. Lengthen your spine. Keep your tailbone in line with your head. So just a nice tabletop position with our hands supporting onto our shins. And then move the hands to the creases of the hips and just notice what's going on in there. And then pushing through your feet, rise up to stand. Shoulders roll back and around a couple times. Bring the arms behind you, palms together, knuckles towards the earth. And just lift your chest up, squeeze your arms and shoulders back together. Try not to arch your back here, so try not to stick your booty out there. Try to tuck it under and lift from the middle upper back rather than from the lower back. And then lead with your heart. Come forward all the way down. Hang your head, reach your arms up, let go. Sway a little side to side. And then come back to center. Let the arms dangle. One more time. Climb to your fingertips. Reach your hands right in front of your toe tips. Walk your arms out one length. Push your weight back to your heels. Inhale, look forward. Walk your hands out one more time. Weight back towards your heels. Inhale, walk forward another time or another time until you find your downward facing dog. Make the adjustments you need. Come high up on your toes. Bend your right knee, press your left heel to the floor. Bring your right foot off the floor and just roll through the ankle and place that foot behind the left ankle. Shift forward to a high plank. Belly pulled up, body in line with the spine. Hips up in the air. Come back to your high plank. Right knee to your chest. And then press back to a three-legged downward dog, right leg in the air. Four on the floor, downward facing dog. Left foot off the floor, roll through the ankle. Cross the left foot behind the right foot. Come forward to a high plank. Stay strong through your center, don't collapse through your shoulders. Hips up in the air. Come back to your high plank. Left knee to your chest. Three-legged dog. Four on the floor, downward facing dog. Inhale on your toes, high plank. Look forward, resist the earth, spread the upper back. Lower down knees, chest, and chin to the floor. Glide through into your low cobra. You can lift your arms up, you can lift your legs up, your choice. Exhale, seat to heels, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog, hips up in the air. Bring your feet closer together, back of the mat. Soften the left knee and raise the right leg in the air. Look at it. Look at the space between your hands, excuse me. Now step your right foot all the way up to your hands. Lower your left knee to the floor. You can keep the toes tucked or keep it flat top of the foot and shin. Rise up on an inhale, push your hips forward. Take your thumbs and cross them, spread your fingers. Open up your heart. Bring the ribs towards the hips, good. And see if you want to just take a little side bend to the right, a little side bend to the left. Keep your right big toe pressing into the floor. So you have a really strong, stable base here. Hi, Holly. And then exhale, hands to floor. Straighten your right leg, place your forehead towards your shin. Maybe the toes lift up and you sink back a little bit more today. I'll let you choose. Inhale and exhale, fold a little bit deeper. I can't, my hamstrings are really tight. And then rebend the front knee. Left hand moves inside, right hand moves to your hip. Look over your right shoulder. Option to stay on your knee or lift the left knee up off the floor. Hug your inner thighs towards midline. And then maybe that right arm comes up, palm faces away from your body. Can you find a little bit more space off of your thigh? So don't let your chest and your belly rest on your thigh. Reach out and find some length. One more big breath. Exhale, right hand down. Right leg straightens, fold over. Move the right hip back and the left hip forward. Hang your head. Inhale and exhale. Take another breath. Rebend your front knee. Step back to a high plank. Make sure if you want your knees on the floor, they go there. Shift a little forward, come down halfway. Chaturanga Dandasana. Push off your toes, upward facing dog, or you stay on your knees for cobra, on your belly. Downward facing dog, hips up, or maybe you're in a child's pose. Head towards your thighs, spread your breath across the upper back, so really find some space here. Bring your feet together. Left leg in the air. Step it through. Left leg comes forward, right knee comes to the floor. Make the adjustments. Knee over the ankle. Make sure that you're not sitting on the back patella, on the kneecap. You're just slightly superior to it, above it. And then bring the arms all the way back up. Hook your thumbs in the opposite direction if you think about it. Bring your ribs down, spread your fingers, drop. So make sure you're, again, not pushing out those ribs and dumping into your lower back. And then lean to your left side. Nice big stretch, feels good. Inhale, lean to your right side, hug the hips in towards midline. Inhale, back up. Exhale, release the hands, straighten the left leg. You choose, toes up, toes down. Try to keep the big toe facing into the center though, rather than opening up to the left side, the pinky side. Right, just so we don't really avoid the hamstrings. You can bend your knee as mine is, or put your hands on blocks. If you don't have blocks, a couple of books work. Next, inhale, we release back into our low lunge. Right hand moves inside, left hand moves to your hip. So we're just gonna work on the length from crown to tailbone, lift, and then twist. And the option is to tuck your right toes under and lift that right knee off the floor, or stay where you are. Hug everything towards your midline, left arm comes up. Gaze up at it. Spiraling through that spine. Take an extra big, long breath here. As you exhale, left hand comes down. Left leg straightens. You might even need to shorten your stance or put your hands on blocks. Inhaling and exhaling. Now this time I want you to bend the front knee and step the right leg to meet the left leg top of your mat. Separate your feet the width of 2 fists, your hips, bend your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on your shins. Exhale, fold over, take your peace finger grip around your big toes. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, elbows out to side, head towards your shins. Send your weight a little bit into the balls of your feet. You might feel like you're falling over. Stay focused, stay with the breath. Inhale, halfway lift. There's my upward facing dog. Exhale, release your grip. And now once again, hook your thumbs whichever way. Stretch your arms in front of you, bend your knees, but rise up with a long spine. Come all the way up to standing. Lean to your right side, pull your left arm with your right. Inhale, lean to your left side, pull your right arm with your left. Inhale, back to center. Release the arms down by your side. Heel toe your feet together. She took a walk. And bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale and exhale. Holly. Inhale, hook thumbs once again. Reach the arms up. Arch back. Exhale, fold arms behind your back. Head down, arms up. Inhale, release hands to floor. Halfway lift. Exhale, right foot's going to step back. Left arm's going to rotate open as we twist. Opening to that left side we just came from here. Draw that left hip in towards your midline. Exhale, left hand down, left leg straightens, fold over your left leg. Inhale, rebend your left knee. Reach the arms back up overhead. Hook your thumbs, lift your chest. Exhale, left side lean. Inhale, center, right side lean. Find some stability in your leg. Come back to center, lift your heart. And then vinyasa, hands to the floor, step back, high to low planks, even on your knees. Upward dog, downward dog, we all meet in either down dog or you stay in a child's pose. Inhale and exhale. Feet together, right leg in the air. Look between your hands and bring that right leg through. Left arm moves to the inside, right arm opens up to the right side, twist. Hug your hips towards midline, spread your fingers. Stack your shoulders, breathe into the spaces we're creating. Move into them, one more breath. As you exhale, right hand down, right leg straightens. Fold over it as best you can. Pull that right hip back and that left hip forward and let your head hang down. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Find space. One more breath. Inhale, rebend. Arms come up. Hook thumbs, maybe the opposite direction. Lean to the right side, exhale. Inhale, lean to the left side, exhale. Come back up, open up. Exhale, fold, hands to floor, vinyasa, or skip, or add push-ups if that's where you'd like to be today. Downward facing dog. Soften your knees, look at your hands, and make your way to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hook thumbs, rise to stand. Up to standing, hands to prayer. Feet together. I don't know if you can see my little puppy dog over there. And exhale. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hands behind the back, arms up, head down. Inhale, release your hands, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot back, left arm opens, twist. Exhale, left hand down, left leg straightens, fold. Inhale, reach arms up. Now turn that back foot on its side, find warrior one. You can have your thumbs connected if you did before and maybe move a little side to side. You can have your palms connected or your arms are separated if your shoulders are tight. So bend that front knee, don't be afraid of it. Right pinky toes to the floor, inhale and exhale. The lift comes again from the middle and upper back so we're not dumping into that lower back. One more big breath. With our right foot turned, we're gonna step into warrior two. So now we're facing your right side of your mat. Your right toes are almost parallel to the left heel, or perpendicular. Hold. So your right pinky toe presses into the floor. Your left knee pulls out over your left ankle in line with your second, third toes. Warrior two, pump one time. And exhale, find warrior two, breathe. Try to reach from two places, right, or from the center into two places. So from your belly button, everything expands outward. One more big breath. Exhale, windmill the hands down, turn your back foot forward, lower your right knee, and bring both hands on the inside of the left foot. Release the top of the right foot, and walk your left foot out towards the edge of the mat. Either stay here, or maybe roll it out, or maybe turn it out and stretch your hand on top of your thigh, your choice. All right, see where you want to be. Maybe you want to come down to the forearms or block. It's all good. It's all, today is kind of yogi's choice. I'll let you choose what works for you. But we'll stay here for two more breaths. Inhale. And empty out that breath. One more. Good. As you come back, hands come to the floor. We bring that left foot back to center, separating our hands on either side. Tuck the right toes underneath you, lift the knee up, plant the palms, and step back to a high plank. Into your low plank, vinyasa. Work it through, mark it out, skip it, and to it. You choose. Feet are going to come together at the back of your mat. Left leg lifts high in the sky, step it all the way through. Right arm comes up, we twist, open to the right side, draw that hip towards midline. Exhale, right hand down, right leg straightens, fold over and head towards your shins. Inhale, rebend the front knee, arms come up, you can hook thumbs again if you'd like, and now we turn the back foot on its side for warrior one. Turning the shoulders and the hips forward, knee over the ankle, pinky toe of the back foot on the floor, and grounding down, don't grind down, lift up. Tuck those ribs underneath you, shoulders down, heart lifts. One more breath here, and then we open to warrior two, facing the left side of your mat. Reach your arms in two directions, so everything again from the center point of our body, outward. One warrior pump, and we hold in warrior two, inhale, and exhale. One more big breath. As you take the next breath, windmill your hands down, turn your back hip forward, left knee to the floor, hands inside of the right foot and move out to the side. So you're getting a little bit more width here. You can roll to your side. You can take your hand and open up, drop that hip. Or maybe it feels just okay to be on your forearms here. So you see where you can go. Don't force it into places that are not going to happen, but allow the breath to gently and casually and at some point perhaps take you downward. Take another breath. Gradually was the word I was looking for. One more. Good. On the inhale, hands come down. Turn your foot forward, walk your foot inside. Tuck your left toes underneath you. Step back to a high plank and take it through your vinyasa. Skip it, add to it. You choose. You do you. And separate your feet at the back of the mat. Breathe in. Soften the knees and walk your hands back to your feet once again, back to the mat. Standing in a forward fold, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, release your head, your shoulders, everything folds over those legs. Draw the chin to the chest as you ragdoll yourself to standing all the way up. Roll those shoulders back and around a couple times. Heel toe your feet together, hands in prayer at your heart center. Close your eyes for a moment, just feel the grounding. And start to feel the energy rising from the earth all the way through your body, all the way up the top of your head. And then open your eyes and lift your right leg off the floor. Flex the foot. Knee in line with the hip, maybe a little bit higher, a little bit above your belly button. Hold it there, and then place it down on the floor. Send the weight to the right leg, left leg comes up. Balance, flex the foot, lift the knee up in line or a little higher than your hip. Right leg down, left leg down, excuse me. Right leg up, find your focal point, your drishti. Extend your right leg out. Step it down 2 to 3 feet in front of you and let that left leg come up and we fly. Dip your belly, arch your back. Breathe. Inhale, left knee comes to chest. Take your time. Exhale, left leg extends. Step it forward, charge your body forward. Release the right leg off the floor. Heart lifts, belly drops. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen from crown of the head to the toes. Feet come together, hands in prayer. We should be somewhere close to the top of the mat. If not, take a few steps forward. Open up your eyes, bring your arms down, up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive right down to the floor. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg in the air, inhale. Right leg steps through, turn the back foot on its side. Windmill open, warrior two as you exhale. Pump the arms and straighten the leg. And find your warrior two as you exhale. Flip your palms up, reach towards the front of your mat, and then bring your left arm down and right arm up. Move your left hip towards your right knee. Take your left arm and press it forward. Obaya Mudra, fear or removal of fear. Inhale. Watch it, Holly. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten front leg. Turn your toes a quarter turn to your left side and softly fold in between your two legs. Hang your head down. Good. Shift your weight from side to side so you notice kind of what's going on and how we can even that out. If you need a block or something underneath you, place it. You've got 3 heights to the block if that's what you're using. Maybe place your fingers on top of the block and lengthen your spine. And then exhale, fold. Walk your hands to the outer edges of your feet, lift them up, and then slide your hands underneath the feet. And pull your feet and push your hands down as the crown of the head comes down, or maybe it rests on a block, right? Right underneath you. So you can shift your weight a little bit more forward, and you might feel like you're falling again, but if your head's on a block, you might feel more stable. Last breath here, lengthen your spine on the inhale. Release your hands underneath you, keep lengthening. We're gonna heel toe our feet closer together. So I am gonna use a block for this one. So if you have something to lift you off the floor a little bit, even if it's just, as I said, a couple of books, it's fine. Magazines, whatever you got. Now, shift your weight into your left leg and just lift your right foot off the floor. Just lift it. You'll do a little hitchhike there, or hip hike. And maybe you can take that leg out to the side. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, bring it down. Forward fold, ragdoll. Lengthen your spine, hands on floor or blocks. If you have a water bottle, something underneath you, right? Shift your weight. You're gonna notice right away a difference from side to side. Maybe this is your A side, maybe it's your B side. Let the right leg, just let the left leg, hover off the floor and place it down. So just start to notice that. Lift it off the floor, place it down, lift it off the floor, maybe take it out to the side. Try not to stick that right hip all the way out to the side, so you may not go as high as you think you want to go. You don't need to go that high, just activate some muscle here. And then come down. This is our glute medius and a lot of other muscles trying to keep us stable there. Good. Release your block, bring your hands onto your thighs, arch your back, just come here for a moment. And then round your back, tuck your tailbone underneath you. Roll your shoulders up and around as you rise all the way up. Take your arms overhead. Good. Now we're going to pivot to face the front of the room. We're going to step the right foot forward and the left foot back 2 to 3 feet. Hips are squared. Bring your arms back behind your back, fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, or a reverse prayer if that is in your practice. Lift your heart up and then go halfway down. Pull that right hip back and left hip forward. Crown of the head reaches forward. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Now I want you to keep as parallel as you can. I know some of you can come down further. I don't want to have that back rounding. I want to keep it straight because now we're going to fly again. So we're going to shift the weight into that right leg, that leg that we just activated by lifting that left leg to the side. Hold it here. Variation of warrior 3. Hold for 3. Hold for 2, not your breath. Hold for 1. Step your feet together. Take it to the top of your mat if you're not there. Release your arms. Roll your shoulders back and around. Stretch the arms overhead. Inhale. Hands to your heart center. Exhale. Close your eyes and ground. So come back to it. So when we get into places that are uncomfortable, we get all uptight and we get nervous and our heart rate changes and our breathing changes and our thoughts change. So bring this back to some place of peace. And then open your eyes, stretch your arms overhead. Take yourself down to the floor. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. All the way through. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left leg in the air. Left leg steps through. Right foot turns. Windmill open, warrior 2. Pump it out once. And hold your warrior 2, not your breath. Pull forward with your left arm, pull back with your right arm. Outer thighs, open outward. Inner inner thighs squeeze inward. So we have a lot of action going on in the legs. And the arms, of course, as well. One more big breath. Flip your palms, reach forward. Right arm down, left arm up. Move that right hip towards the left side. Take your right arm out in front of you, Abhaya Mudra, removal of fear. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale, back to warrior two. Straighten front leg, turn a quarter, turn to your right side now, and fold in between your two legs. Hang your head. Shift your weight a little bit into the balls of the feet rather than into your heels, so we don't want to hyperextend through the knees. If you need a block, place it in the middle of your mat, in between your two sides. Come halfway up. Place both hands on the block or stay on the floor. Now, left hand's going to stay down as the right hand moves to your sacrum. Lengthen your spine and twist to the right side without shifting your hips. So again, you may not get as big a satisfaction in the twist as you think you might want. We're working on keeping the hips steady through the center. Right arm comes up. I'm going to keep shifting that right hip towards the midline. One more breath. Look down. Switch arms. Left hand to your hip first. Notice the levelness of your hips. Lengthen your spine. Rotate. I'm not going to get anywhere near as deep on this side as I do on the other side. Left arm comes up. So again, my tendency is to move my right hip to the left side, but I want to move the left hip to the right side. So again, I may not get as big a stretch in my rotation here. Now bring the hands down again. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Heel toe your feet closer, about hips width apart. Any other variations that you'd like to try here? I'm going to face this way for a second. You stay on that right side. So once again, let's keep our left foot down. Right foot hovers. Take it out to the side. Hold it. If you have a big toe grip here that you'd like to play with, see if you can do that. Again, you might not get very far out to the side. Some people can. Just work on the balance, work on the engagement of those legs, those glutes. They're really challenging. One more breath. And then bring it down. We're going to change sides. Wait until your right leg, left leg hovers, and then out to the side. So that same thing we were just doing with the twist, without moving our hips to the side, we're doing here. We're trying to keep grounded into that right leg. And this, I might add, is quite challenging. 3, 2, and 1. Release it. Good. So you're facing the side. Ragdoll your body to stand. Hands on your hips. Pivot to face the front of the room. Left leg forward, right leg back. Whatever you did with your arms on the last side, take it. Fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, reverse prayer, palms together, thumbs up toward, or fingers up towards the face. So again, you might notice a difference from side to side. Keep the hips squared, shoulders down, heart lifts. Lead with your heart, come halfway down. So just stop in that tabletop. Adjust your left hip back, right hip forward. My knees are slightly bent. My knees are slightly bent, particularly because I have really tight hamstrings. And then I'm going to shift my weight into my left leg and balance, kicking that right leg back. Heart. Try to drop your right shoulder down so your shoulders and your torso are parallel to the floor. One more big breath, guys. Feet together. Release your arms. Roll your shoulders back and around. Take a big breath in. Bring the arms up. Place the hands at your heart center. Close your eyes. And breathe. Let go of anything that we've done thus far. Any of the challenges, anything that made your heart beat irregularly because it was fearful to you or uncomfortable or hard. Open your eyes, stretch your arms overhead. Forward fold, hanging through the middle of your body, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, fold back, jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Feet together, right leg in the air. Right leg comes through. Left foot turns on its side, warrior two. As you exhale, stay here. Right arms come up, leg comes straight. Now move your left foot in 1 or 2 times. Feel free to grab blocks if you need them. And notice that that left hip hikes. So now I want you to square it off. Just like we were in warrior two, or reverse warrior, we'd be pressing that left hip towards the right side. So we're going to do the same thing, getting ready for triangle. Then flip your palms and reach your arm out. Reach out as far as you can go. When you can no longer reach out, that right arm comes down, that left arm comes up, and we rotate. So I'm going to imagine, and know you might be, against a wall. Shoulders, that left side of your body comes down against the wall. My knees are lifted up, but I'm not putting pressure into my knee with my hand. My hand can be on the foot, shin block, toe grip, whatever you've got. Find the bottom side of your body lifting up. One more breath. Now look down, rise up, release and reverse. As you come forward, bend your right knee. Left hand moves to your hip, and we float the left leg off the floor for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon balance. Stacking shoulders, stacking hips. Gaze is down to start. Hand on your hip to start. Maybe now you'll lift the left leg up, left arm up, excuse me, and maybe you'll look up towards it. That's the last thing that happens, by the way, so don't worry about it if it doesn't happen today. You can also be on your knee if you need to take another variation of this. Let's stay here for 2 more breaths. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon balance. Now, on the exhaling breath, I'm going to take a block. And I'm going to bring my left hand down on that block, turn my hips squared, flex the left foot, right hand to my hip. Those of you who know me know this is my absolute least favorite pose in all of yoga. Stacking shoulders, right arm comes up. Why, you ask? Because I find it incredibly challenging. Breathe in. The things that we need the most are the things that challenge us the most, the things we don't want to do the most. So I know I need to work on this one. One more big breath. Now, this time I'm going to bring the right hand down and the left foot back about 2 to 3 feet. But I'm going around my spine, chin to chest, forehead to knee. Look upwards towards your belly button. Inhale, halfway lift. Step, walk, jump, float, hop back to a vinyasa. Upward and downward facing dogs. Hips up in the air. What you see, Holly? Feet together. Left leg in the air. Left leg steps through. Good, warrior two as you exhale. Straighten arms and legs. Now, notice that right hip is hiked. So as I walk my right foot in a little bit, I'm going to draw that hip in so my hips and shoulders stay level. Arms out, shoulder height. Moving my hips now to the back as the torso moves to the front. Reaching, 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 reaching till I can't anymore. Left arm down, right arm up. Stacking shoulders. Pull your knees up, tuck your tailbone underneath you. Try not to put pressure into the arm that's on, if it's on the foot or on a block or on the floor, just make sure you're not dumping your weight into it. Imagine that you're leaning your right side of your body against a wall. One more big breath. Look down. Reverse your triangle. Right arm down, left arm up. Exhale, bend the front knee. Left hand on the floor or block. Right leg lifts up. We stack shoulders and hips. Work it slow. Take your time stacking. Then maybe the right arm goes up. Then maybe the eye gaze goes up. And then maybe the dog walks across the screen. One more breath. All right, now as you exhale, right hand comes down. I'm going to use a block. Right leg goes back. Hips go back to parallel or squared. And then maybe that left arm opens up and twists to the left side. And maybe you look at it. Maybe some of you are going to grab it for a bind. Looking good, guys. Clearly, you don't hate this pose as much as I do. You're much better at it. Take another breath. As you exhale, right foot down 2 to 3 feet, left hand down, left knee bends, chin to chest, round and curl, forehead on knee. Halfway lift on an inhale. Step, float, jump, hop back through your vinyasa. Upward and downward facing dogs. Hips high in the sky. And breathe. And then bring your knees down to the floor. Take your child's pose once again, bringing your arms this time by your side with the palms facing up. Drape the shoulders open. Just let everything relax down. Surrender. Draw your chin to your chest. Roll up slowly. Stay on your heels or sit on a block if you need to, or if this is just really not great for your knees, sit in any comfortable seat that you can. Take your left arm outside your right thigh. Right hand behind you tented. Lift your spine long and twist. Relax the shoulders down. Look all the way over your right shoulder. Drop it down. Lengthening. Inhale. Exhale. Deepening. Look to your left side. And release to the left side. Left hand behind you. Right arm outside the thigh. Lengthen. And twist. Drop the shoulders down. Keep the eye gaze steady. Keep the breath smooth even though we're moving into spaces that may be a little less comfortable. Just let the breath guide you slowly. Inhale to center. Bring both hands behind you, fingers pointing in whichever direction feels right to you. Open up your chest and shoulders. Maybe you lift your hips up off the floor, off the heels. Maybe you drop your head back. That's a big quad stretch, so if that's too much for you, back off. And then come on down. Bring yourself forward, hands and knees. Take your left foot in front of your right foot and sit yourself behind your heels. And then we're just going to walk forward a little bit more. So place your hands back on top of your knees. Left foot is in front, right foot is behind. Lift your chest up. And then bring your chin to your chest for a nice cat pose, pulling yourself away from your sitting bones backwards, away from the center. And round your back, but try not to lift your shoulder blades to your ears. And then inhale, lean forward. Keep your hips grounded to the earth. Walk your hands out forward. Maybe again they're on blocks. Just feel the back of the hips or the outside of the hips start to open. You should feel probably a little bit stronger in that that left hip. And then walk your hands in. Roll up. Lean back. Shake it out. Switch the cross of your legs. Notice the difference from side to side. First, adjust yourself so you're sitting in front of your sitting bones. Hands on your thighs. Lift your chest. Chin to chest, round your spine, pull your belly in, roll away from your sitting bones. Inhale, rise up. Walk your hands forward. Stop where you first feel it. Don't force it to go deeper. Stay there for a breath or two, and then maybe walk it out a little bit more. Breathe in. And empty out. Use the heel of the hands to push the mat forward and push the hips back at the same time. So now you should feel a little bit more conversation in that right outer hip. One more breath. And then walk your hands back in. Inhale. Lean back. Hands behind you. Shake out your legs. Good. All right, stay where you are. I'm going to turn my mat on its side a little bit more. Take your feet. And we're going to make ourselves into a tabletop position, a reverse tabletop position. So I want you to take your hands behind you, lift your hips up, point your knees forward, draw your heels back, open up your shoulders if this is good for you, drop your head back. If it's not, stay just for a breath, come back down, or go to a regular bridge on your back. One more breath. Come back down. Good. Walk your hands around your shins. Bring your feet closer together and see if you can snuggle yourself up towards the front of the mat, but like in a ball. And then come to your tops of your toes. So my Pilates group will know, kind of rolling like a ball. You can hold on here. In Pilates, I would hold you onto your heels, but we're gonna hold on to our shins here. Feel free to change it if you want. And again, we're gonna rock a little in front of the sitting bones, lift our feet up, round your back, come down, and come back, whoops, come back up. The breath is the force that takes us there, not kicking our feet. That's why I have you holding onto your shins so you can't kick your feet up as easily. Let's try it again. Round your spine, exhale, forcefully bring yourself back up. Maybe that was too forceful on my part. One more time. Inhale, round. Exhale, come up. Now stay here, or maybe take your hands under your thighs and hold under your calves, 90 degrees at the knee and ankle. Flex the foot. Maybe you want to let go and just balance. Open. Feel your hip flexors, I know. Or maybe extend your legs and extend your arms. Boat pose, teaser pose, whatever you want to call it. I like my heels together, toes apart, probably from my Pilates training. Not a dancer. Breathe. Now roll backwards. Take your legs over your head. Find plow. If plow is not in the cards for you, stay on your back, legs up in the air, or maybe put your legs on a wall, or maybe put a block underneath your back. Plow pose, do not turn your head, so don't turn to hear me, listen to me. All right, so your feet are over your head. Maybe the toes are walking away from you as you rest up onto the top of your shoulders, not your neck, not your head. And maybe your arms can reach out in front of you, lengthening them away from you. If your legs are over your head but they don't touch the floor, support your back with your hands. And then keep walking your feet as far away from your head as you can. There's a nice upward dog. Breathe. And now in your plow, place your hands on your back as high up as you can, lifting maybe one leg at a time into a shoulder stand. Once again, don't turn your head, allowing for perhaps your hips to raise right up on top of your shoulders. And lengthen your legs like you're being pulled to the ceiling with your feet. Lengthen out of your hips. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, if you are in this pose with your hands supporting, take your hands down to the ledge of your hips. If you're on the floor, bend your knees and place your feet on the floor. So if you're in the air, bend your knees and place your feet at a 90-degree angle away from your face. If you're on the floor, push up into a bridge, supported with your hands or a block. If you're in the air, you're supporting your back, and you're going to take your feet down, maybe one at a time, maybe both together, and you're all in a supported bridge. So don't turn your head. Again, I'm just looking towards the camera and towards so you can hear me. So I'm going to stay in this supported position, or I'm going to take my hands to my shoulders and come into my big back bend here. That's an option. You don't have to take it. If you're on a supported bridge from the floor up, then go ahead and just stay with that support. Stay for a couple more breaths. Just a few more breaths. Gonna get you there. And when you're ready to come down, articulate your spine. Top of the head, upper, mid, lower back to the floor. We're only going to do that one today. So hug your knees all the way up to your chest. Rock on your spine from side to side. Take your happy baby pose, either a big toe grip, an outer foot grip, maybe the bottom of the foot, maybe just underneath the thighs. And spread your knees to the outside of your rib cage, feet towards the ceiling, tailbone towards the floor. So if your hips are lifted up here, shorten your grip somewhere so that you can keep your tailbone on the floor. And if it feels okay, you can rock side to side. One more big breath. And as you release the feet, and as you release the breath, arms come down, soles of the feet together, and the feet come to the floor as the knees open wide. Now stretch your arms over your head and do the same thing with your arms as your feet are doing. So there's going to be a tendency to arch your back here. See if you can pull those ribs down towards your hips. Stay here. Don't squeeze too tight through your glutes, through your inner thighs. Breathe in. And breathe out. Take your arms shoulder height. Take your left knee over to your right knee, spinal twist. Bring the knees a little higher if it feels okay. If it's too much, separate them or bring them down lower. So my arms are open, my knees are to the right, my eye gaze possibly goes to the left or stays neutral in the center. I'm not as concerned about keeping that left shoulder down as I am about just having some kind of grounding on the floor, perhaps just your fingertips or your palm. But don't force the shoulder. And then either with both legs together, come through center, or single leg. Move your hips up to the right, knees to the left as we twist and we look to the right, or back to neutral. Let go. Try not to clench onto any tightness, any muscular action outside of breathing and heartbeat right now is just kind of a release in that hip. And then draw yourself back to center. Round and curl your spine, round your back like a big tight ball again. Hold here, breathe. And then extend your legs up in the air. Flex your feet. My head and shoulders are up, hands behind the head. Lift up a little higher. Now pull your belly button deep into your spine and lift your hips up, even if it's just a millimeter. Take an extra breath. As you exhale, lower your head and lower your hips. Take your arms right outside or perhaps underneath your back for some of you. Flex and point your toes. Lower down about a quarter of the way. Flex and point. Lower another quarter. Flex and point. Lower another quarter. Flex and point. Lower to the floor. Rise up on your forearms. Lift your chest up. Come lightly to the top of your head. Heart lifts. Options for any other variations maybe you have in this pose. Vatsyasana. Fish pose. Opening up the throat, the heart, the chest. As you take the next breath, bring your chin to your chest as you exhale, roll down. Last time to hug your knees into your chest. Take any spinal twist or anything that speaks to you right now as you prepare for your final Shavasana pose. Your final meditation. Resting on the floor in a comfortable seat or arms out by your side, feet open. So if you're taking a few more poses, take your time to get into your Shavasana. When you get to your Shavasana, let yourselves completely surrender into the mat. Let your body go. Let your mind go. Get rid of the breath that we've been practicing with. And scan your body from head to toe for any points of tension that may be there. And softly say to yourself the mantra of let go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Take these moments to enjoy the silence. Stay as long as you can in your Shavasana if this is not time enough for you Otherwise, start to take your breath deeper and move your fingers and your toes. Take yourself over to either side that feels right for you today. Come into a comfortable seated position when you're ready. Bring your hands to your heart center. Om Shanti, 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 Om peace, peace, peace to all. And now let's all just bow down and honor the peace, the beauty, the light, the love within each one of us. Namaste, Satnam, go in peace. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for always being where you need to be, right with you, with me. Stay home, stay fit, stay healthy.